Visit ccgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at one very unique deck that was one of the top decks in the standard format when the standard format was Hard Gold, Soul Silver, up to the Dark Explorers. So this is the Celebi Mewtwo Terrakion deck, which was very powerful deck back then. So there is a couple different attackers that you can find in this deck list, like Mewtwo, basically for the Mewtwo wars, because back then Mewtwo was a big deal, but it was weak versus Darkrai. And for the Darkrai, as the tech in this deck was Terrakion with the retaliation. So Terrakion was able to one-hit knockout basically without too many problems your opponent Darkrai, but if your opponents managed to knock your Pokemon turn before, you could just use Retaliate for 180 versus Darkrai. There was some other cool attackers in this deck as well, like Tornadus-EX with the blow through, for example. 60 with a single double course energy back then was a big deal, but the second was also a big deal. So it's not that this card was that powerful, but also it has that resistance -20 for the Terrakion, and it was just a single tech card, as well as the Shaymin Celebration Wind. Once you play it, you can just move energies from your Pokemons as you like. So that was also nice and interesting tech as well. Celebi was here mainly for the energy acceleration with the Forest Breath, and Smeargle was there for the Portrait. The Portrait was a very interesting ability or Pokemon power back then, because he was able to basically play Smeargle, force your opponent to show you his hand with the Portrait, then you can pick support a card to play, and then you can just retreat to another Smeargle and do that once again. So that was just insane. 12 Pokemons, 35 trainer cards, and 13 energies and this deck list. So moving on to some other item cards and energy cards that we can find. Obviously 4 copies of Dual Ball back then was much better than anything else. I think back then was actually the set was without Ultra Ball. I mean, Ultra Ball was released actually in Dark Explorers, if I'm not wrong. But Dual Ball was a big deal, just because you can flip 2 heads, and for each heads you can search basic Pokemon in your deck. It was much better for the non-evolution Pokemon than the Ultra Ball and Level Ball, in my opinion. Energy Retrieval for the Energy Recycle, Energy Search as a tech as well. We back then had something like a Junk Arm or reprinted Item Finder, but he was not able to grab support a card with it, which was a very powerful card. Obviously, you could just grab whatever you need, as well as the PlusPower. During this turn, your opponent's active Pokemon does 10 more damage counter to the active Pokemon, which was also very powerful tool back then. Couple Pokemon catchers, 3 of them, but before Pokemon catcher was rated, you didn't need to flip a coin to catch your opponent active Pokemon. Back then that was very expensive, uncommon. I think it was ranged from $15 to $25 a piece. Later was printed as a secret rare and also reprinted in the Plasma Freeze, if I'm not wrong. Actually in the Plasma Blast. We also had one potion as a tech in this build, as well as Pokemon Random Receiver. Random Receiver was a big deal back then. It was a must-have card in standard format, as well as the Revive ×1. 3 copies of Switch, because Flowstone didn't exist back then. Flowstone actually was printed in the Plasma Freeze. So he was forced to play Switch, and Skyarrow Bridge, which was the main staple stadium in many decks, especially in the standard format for those non-evolution basic Pokemon decks. 1 copy of N. As you can see, back then N was not played that much, because it was considered just as a disruptive tool. Tech card, in my opinion, Professor Zoak's new tier was much better. Today's Cynthia and obviously Professor Juniper back then Also, full art was like 35-40 bucks a piece, which was insane. Even these days, Juniper is expensive compared to Professor Sycamore. 2 copies of Eviolite, also very expensive card back then. Very popular card on the Exapnded decks, kind of like it. And this deck contains 13 energies, 4 grass energy, 4 double course energies, 3 fighting energies and 6 grass energies. A little bit confused, but yeah. And that was the deck list. I'm also gonna try to play the game with it, hopefully in the legacy format, so you can actually see it, how it perform. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. I'm actually planning to upload from now on up to the couple months in the future, a lot of different popular decks from a lot of different eras. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned and subscribe for that. So let's do some game tests so you can actually see this deck in action. So see you in the game. Alright, let's do this. So I'm starting first. Okay, I think I'm gonna open the game by starting with the Celebi in the active position, and we'll bench down one of my Terrakions and play as well. Okay, looks like I'm gonna play against Ambar. Not bad. So playing versus Ambar with this deck, probably it might be Typlosion, you know, but I'm not sure. Or it might be White Kyurem EX, for example. Okay, what we're gonna do in this case, we're gonna go with one Forest Breath, attaching one of our grass energies to Terrakion. It's a decent attacker, you know, to hit for like a 90, and more than that, I'm also gonna put another Terrakion in play and go with my Professor Oak's new theory. I could even better go with maybe Professor Juniper for 7. Unfortunately, I didn't get nothing that I can use, so I'm looking forward to pass my turn. Very bad hand, that's for sure. Dragon Stream. 60. Flip a coin in your hands, attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Then Ice Burn for 150, but you need to discard 2 energy cards, and then your opponent defending Pokemon is also burned. Very powerful attack. So Ultra Ball for Jirachi. Alright. Let's see, it might be for a Drought supporter, but if you already have Drought supporter, it might be for something like Pokemon Collector. Oh, actually for the N. Alright, I'm actually happy with that N. Just because with the N, I can refresh my hand and hope to get something better. There's also Magnemite, if you wonder for what. Magnemite is here for Magnezone. So with the Magnezone you can draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. Alright, so we somehow managed to survive this turn. I think I'm going to put another Celebi on the bench and play one of my random receivers. Professor Juniper or N. In this case, first I'm going to use my Forest Breath, and the second thing I'm going to do, I'm going to play that. Yeah, and definitely. I'm very unlucky because I don't have... Damn it. Dual Ball, let's see if we can maybe hit a couple hands on the coin flip. Yes, we can. Finally, something useful. Smeargle is the way to go, and also Mewtwo should be the way to go. Alright, if you wonder why I decided to go with a Smeargle, only for one reason. Do we have switch in a discard pile? No, we don't. So I'm going to retreat my Celebi to my Smeargle and use that portrait. Might be lucky. There's a Skyla. Okay, I guess I can use Skyla for something like... Yeah, Skyarrow Bridge. Probably I'm not gonna be able to survive, so I could with this Kylo also grab myself supporter card, but since I have Random Receiver in my discard pile as well as in my hand, I just decided not to do that. So there's the Magnezone with the Magnetic Draw from the other side of the field, as well as one Water Energy. So, Magnetic Draw for 2 extra cards. And Professor Oak's new theory. Alright. There's the Heavy Ball, meaning that my opponent probably have Rare Candy in his hand, so there's also gonna be one Emboar in play. So if he decides to Ice Bird me for 150, I'm thinking about retaliation for like a 90. That retaliation can also be versus that Jirachi on the bench. For 2 prize cards, my friends. Oh no, he decided to hit for a 60. Alright. Well, we're gonna heal some damage from Smeargle. Then we are going to add PlusPower, Random Receiver as well, for Professor Oak's new theory. What about Portrait? Let's first go with Professor Oak's new theory from our opponent's side of the field. Excellent. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I can hit for 100 if I want. Did I actually already played my supporter card because it won't allow me to play my Professor Oak's new theory? Very weird situation, but it doesn't matter too much because I can retreat for free and start to applying some pressure with the X-Ball to my opponent White Kyurem. So it's 110 because I used the PlusPower as well. Very important because with retaliation I can finish the job knocking his White Kyurem out, and I'm also gonna have just a single non-EX attacker in the active spot, so we'll see what's gonna happen next. There's the Skylight, might be for another, okay, it's for the Ultra Ball, as expected. Execute and Professor Oak's new theory discarded. No, I didn't play my supporter card. I'm just confused why I couldn't play supporter card after the Portrait. Oh yeah, it explains a lot of things. I made a mistake because I just realized right now that I played supporter card as the ability and I cannot play another supporter card. I should first play my own supporter card and then copy my opponent attack. So yeah, that's a really bad thing. Anyways, he managed to knock my Mewtwo out. And I'm going with my Celebi in the active spot. There's the Shaymin, but nothing I can do with him. So I'm thinking about just playing Professor Oak's new theory. Okay, there is the energy card. I don't need more than that. Alright, one dual ball as well. It should be for that Mewtwo. So what I can do, I can switch, not retreat, but switch. And then I can use Portrait. And that Portrait should be for something like Professor Juniper. Alright. Perfect scenario. Let's retreat and use that retaliation for the knockout. And that's pretty much... What? Seriously? Did I... Oh! Oh, actually he burned me. So yeah, by the damage from your opponent's active Pokemon. So I wasn't knocked out by the damage. The burn actually finished my Mewtwo, so that was a tiny mistake, but it's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter still. I think I have probably decent chance to end my... But yeah, and it just makes no sense versus Magnezone. That's not good. That's just not good, because another White Kyurem is also on the bench. Yeah, I have game plan anyways. The strategy is to knock his Kyurem out with my Terrakion and to prepare basically that Mewtwo with a dozen of energy cards, so I can simply finish another of his White Kyurems if he decides to put them in play. So obviously what I'm gonna do is I'm going to promote my Celebi in the active position so I can use advantage of my Forest Breath, obviously. Very nice top deck, so Forest Breath, 1 Grass Energy for that Mewtwo. There we go. PlusPower should also be played. So Terrakion can do 40 right now. I'm also gonna use my Energy Retrieval. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to do will be a retreat on my another Celebi, so I can play another Forest Breath and attach extra energy onto my Mewtwo-EX as well. And right now I need to switch on my Terrakion so I can finish the job with Retaliate. Alright. And this time it was for 100. Doesn't matter too much. Okay. So let's see what he can do next. My opponent right now have one more prize left than me, but he have that Jirachi with 90 HP on the bench, which is a huge disadvantage for him in my opinion. This White Kyurem can't do a lot of damage. It can hit for 100 as it is right now, and this might not be enough because I have Pokemon Catcher. If I get lucky with my Pokemon Catcher, I might be able to catch and knocks out that Jirachi on the bench with my Land Crush for 90. But I also have Random Receiver available as well. This deck is very strong. There's no question about that. So does 10 damage for each damage counter in this Pokemon, or he can just simply slash. But I think he's going to hit me with the White Inferno for 100. And right now he have 4, 5, 6. So with the Mewtwo I can go for 120 as it is right now at this moment. So there's the Ultra Ball. This might be for another Kyurem EX, or I might just be wrong. Yes, it is for another White Kyurem EX. Alright. Another White Kyurem and White Inferno for 100. The most important thing is to stay alive with Terrakion in the active spot. Such a nice top deck. Let's see if we can get lucky. Yes, we can. Alright. No doubt about it. I'm gonna be in a huge advantage right now, and yeah, that's it. Lance Crush for 90, we're knocking out that Jirachi out and taking 2 more prize cards. Smeargle and Skyarrow. Right now my opponent needs something like N. Even if he can ends me and knocks my Terrakion out, I can still promote my Smeargle and use advantage of the portrait in the active position. But I'm definitely in a very good position. So he decided just to knock me out with his White Kyurem. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 120, 140, 160. So we need something like a Grass Energy in order to win this game. Or maybe something like a PlusPower as well. So let's go with Tornadus and Skyarrow Bridge. Do we have grass energy in discard pile? Yes, we have. So we're going to grab that energy retrieval instead. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's just try to play Professor Juniper and see if we can get maybe something else. Pretty much one more junk arm that can be used. For something like a PlusPower. There we go. So I can also play one more PlusPower, then I can retreat. I also have switch, so I could even add more damage, but X-Ball should be enough for the knockout. 190, and that's it. I had energy switch, which means I could potentially retreat onto my Celebi, play energy switch, get myself grass energy card, and then basically play switch, and had even more damage available for the one-hit knockout with the Mewtwo. But overall, that's it. A lot of damage dealt with Mewtwo, but nothing compared to these days attackers that can simply hit for tons of damage counters with just single or double energy card. This format was, in my opinion, much more slower and much more skillful, and I kind of like it. My favorite format from all time, definitely Hard Gold, Soul Silver, up to the Dark Explorers. There's no question about it. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like if you like it. We'll see you next time, so have a nice day and goodbye.